Hey kids, PC here to tell you about the LogicBox coding platform. This won't take long, but pay attention because it's going to go fast. Welcome to today's lesson, Introduction to Programming and Hello World. In today's lesson, we're going to learn what is a computer program, what is Java, and how can you use LogicBox to build Java programs. This lesson assumes that you have no familiarity with programming or with LogicBox. There should be a worksheet that accompanies this. Please print that out and fill in the blanks as we go through this lesson. It will help you later. A program is a set of instructions for the computer that is written in a programming language. Java is a programming language. It's just like any other language, such as English or French. If you were to try to learn French, you would need to memorize all of the words. You would also need to know the grammar. For example, in English, all sentences must end with a period. Sentences start with a capital letter. Those are the grammar rules. Java is a language and it's the same thing. You have to memorize the commands. The commands are like the words in English or French. Fortunately, there's not very many commands to memorize in Java. You also need to know the rules for writing Java code. For example, all lines of code end with a semicolon. Java is case sensitive, so capitalization matters. These rules are just like the grammar rules in English or in French, and you need to memorize them. We'll get into all of that later, but the important thing is that you understand that before you can be a coder, you should take the time to memorize these things. You can't be looking up every command and every word as you need to type a language. The computer doesn't actually understand Java. It understands machine code. Machine code refers to the set of commands that are built into the microprocessor. In order for your program written in Java to be run on a computer, it needs to be translated into machine code. A compiler is a piece of software that translates code written in Java into machine code. In our case, we're going to be using the LogicBox compiler. It's a web-based platform that's part of the Digital Academy Learning Platform. There's a couple ways that you can access it. You can just go to www.logicbox.us, log in or create an account, and then go into a sandbox. Or if you're working as part of a class, you will be automatically placed into the Logic compiler as you click Next to go through the programs. You can print this slide out and refer to it as you go through the site. There's a variety of different tabs. One of them is called Practice Problems. You can go here to complete problems that will help you to learn the lessons that we've gone over for the day. There's also guided projects. This is a guided project where you have instructions and practice work. All of your work is saved under the My Work tab. If you ever need to go back to your work, just click My Work. If you publish your project and it's approved, it will appear under the Showcase tab. That's a public tab that anyone can see, and they can run your programs and comment on them and give you feedback. If you're taking this as part of a Digital Academy course, you'll notice the Digital Academy Classroom has some features. There's a home page, there's generally a Lessons tab, which is probably how you got to this video. There's also a Resources tab where all of the files are located. For example, that worksheet we wanted you to fill out, that's under the Resources tab. If you see a live classroom, that's an area where you can go to collaborate with your teacher or with other classmates. It's an area where you can both work on the same code at the same time. Finally, there's a LogicBox tab, which is a shortcut to the LogicBox compiler where you can just play around. Today, we're going to talk about how the LogicBox compiler works. In a minute, I'm going to turn you loose on it, but before I do, I'm going to explain how the various pieces work. Try to pay attention so you don't have to go back to this video as you start to do your first project. The screen that you see right here is a picture of the LogicBox compiler. It's got several major areas. On the left, there is your question prompt and your instruction area. Generally, you'll be given instructions as to what you're supposed to do with your program in that area. You write the code in the big box in the middle. When you're done writing your code, you press the green Run button in the upper right. If it's running too long, you can click Stop. Output, things written to the console, will appear down below in the box at the bottom. If a practice problem has test cases, you'll be able to see whether you passed all the test cases on the left. If you didn't pass, click the question mark and it will tell you what it was expecting and what it received. There's also, in many cases, a show hint and in some cases a show solution button. You can use those to get hints and get the solution for the problem. It's highly recommended that you not look at the solution until after you've worked with the problem several times. Just jumping to the solution isn't going to help you to learn. Every time you hit Run, your code is saved. If you want to go back to a previous version, click Revision History and find that version. Just click the black box with the code and it will load that code automatically. Keep in mind, it will get rid of anything that's in the window at that time. If you want to save what's in the window, run it first so that revision gets saved, and then you can go to a previous revision. If you're stuck, you can click the Get Help button, and the Help menu will open on the left. Right. You'll see icons for Java, SQL, Web. You would click Java, and then you would click a category. Once you're in a category, you'll see a list of topics. Click the topic, and you'll be given a detailed explanation of that topic. The drag and drop code area is code that you can click on and drag into your editor. These are pre-built code blocks that you can use. We'll show you how to use those as we go through this course. But if you browse around, keep in mind that you can always drag these code blocks into your code. So that's it. Now you give it a try. If you're watching as part of a Digital Academy online course, just click Next. If you're watching as part of YouTube or another video player, then you'll want to go to the LogicBox site, go to Practice Problems, and open Hello World JV Java. That's under Sample Problems, Java, and it's under the Introductory tab. Regardless of how you get to the next phase, everyone should type the code and then hit Run. Make sure to type it exactly and make sure that you follow the capitalization because Java is case sensitive. When you're done and it compiles successfully, you can hit Next if you're part of the Digital Academy course or just come back to this video.